I'm Anya, and I'm here to ask you to join my Indiegogo campaign. I am immortal just like you. Dying is the only certain event in our lifetimes. We will all make the passage into the mysterious unknown. But before I do, I'm embarking on a different kind of a journey. An exploration of death before I die. Using the first-person narrative and a Gonzo journalistic approach, I am writing and will be publishing a book. The book will focus on the different ways that diverse cultures all over the world embrace, celebrate, and view death. I will use photographic imagery to support my documentations of rituals, ceremonies, rites of passage, and belief systems built around the very event that I was raised to fear. Ultimately, my goal is to understand death and loss in a completely different way, to break open the taboo that our culture has created around this scary end. I will then apply the wisdom from the various cultures I encounter as a tool to really honor and understand the one foreseeable thing that we all have in common. I will also be exploring some of the questions that we all hold, such as, how do we support someone who's grieving or dying? What does it mean to grieve? How do we accept our own death? And what kind of rites of passage can help ease our transition?
In January of 2012, I lost a pregnancy in the 27th week, which was by far the most devastating experience of my life. What followed was an intense grieving process, during which I experienced spurts of neurosis, loss of identity, violent fits, and even my own desire to die. What I longed for the most during those times was connection and community, but what I experienced was isolation. Acquaintances who knew I lost my baby would run the other way when seeing me approaching. Old friends never reached out, and even my own family would tell me that I needed to snap out of my misery when my soul desired to only go deeper into it. In between waves of my despair, I realized that what I needed and lacked the most were the necessary tools and resources to help me grieve in a healthy and productive way. Since I'm a writer, the only way that I knew how to deal with this trauma was by writing my way through it. It was the only innate and natural tool available to me. And so I started a blog. I took every emotion waiting to explode and transcribed it onto paper, which I then published on the web for the whole world to experience. The feedback that I received from strangers who read my blog was incredible and uplifting. Not only was I encouraged to keep going with the exploration of my inner world, but I was also thanked for my authentic and real expression, which in turn helped them grieve losses that occurred even years ago. When I went into deeper communication with some of the people who responded to my blog, we began a conversation around death. What became very obvious and prevalent is that fear is the biggest issue around this subject. This is precisely why people ran away when they saw me approaching after I lost my baby. It wasn't because they rejected me, but they didn't know what to say or how to support me. We have never been taught how to deal with grief or how to be there for those who are grieving, or even have a conversation around our own pending death. This is where the idea for this project came from. I just recently came back from my journey in Mexico during El Dia de los Muertos, where I partook in the mystical celebrations around the Day of the Dead. My trip to Mexico blew my mind and heart open with its vibrant spectrum of emotions around death, though it was only the introduction to the long journey ahead. I am now reaching out to raise funds to move on and complete my mission. Your involvement will provide the necessary winds to push myself to the next destination. With your help, I can begin a conversation and show the many beautiful ways that we can give life to death.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video and for supporting my project. I'll see you on the other side.